Hello, and thank you for attending this presentation. I'm going to show you how we use search engine optimization at the Content Factory to acquire essentially all of our clients, and how you can use the same strategy to turn your website into a lead magnet for the types of clients that you're looking to bring on board. My name is Kari DePhillips. I am the owner of the Content Factory. I started the Content Factory in 2010 with $500 and some SEO skills. And I'm going to show you in this presentation how I created content that turned that $500 into a multi-million-dollar agency. We represent several national brands, ranging from Astroglide to Fairtrade America to enterprise level software as a service companies. So we're kind of all over the board, but it's because all types of different clients find us as a result of the keywords that we rank #1 for. So if you're starting out and your agency, maybe you don't have a lot of capital to invest in your own marketing, you don't need a lot of capital to create a search engine optimization strategy that will really work for you and over time drive leads to your agency. And in the meantime, I'll also go over some of the strategies that I use to generate clients in the meantime while I waited for the Content Factory's SEO to kick in and do its thing. I have no sales team. I haven't pitched new business in years. I haven't had to because the Content Factory gets quite a few leads a day and they're highly qualified. And again, this is a very replicable process and I'm about to walk you through it. So let's get started. So here's how I got to where I am now with the Content Factory. And our website generates about $1 million a year worth of targeted organic traffic. But before my content started to rank, I needed to get the clients from somewhere. And actually, I got all of the Content Factory's first clients via Craigslist. And we still have a couple of those clients back from the Craigslist days in the first year or two that I started the agency on our client roster. You would be surprised how many high-paying remote and agency digital marketing type gigs and jobs there are on Craigslist, and a lot of them are very legit once you know how to kind of sort through the spammy posts. And in fact, I post TCF's job applications or job postings on Craigslist every time we're hiring. So if you're interested in learning more about how you can hack Craigslist to find agency, freelance, and remote work, if you go to YouTube, I have a video that outlines my entire process for this, including an application tracking spreadsheet and email tracking system that I think you'll want to check out. So if you go to YouTube and you type in how to hack Craigslist, we've got you covered. So as I was going through and sourcing clients through Craigslist, I was also writing my own SEO content. And I think that it's really important that as agency owners and freelancers, we really practice what we preach when it comes to digital marketing. And that's kind of a philosophy that I integrated into my own strategy from day one. And I recommend that you guys do it as well. It gives you more credibility to the clients when they see that if you're a social media marketing agency, that you have tens of thousands of followers. If you are a web content writer who specializes in SEO, it helps to have lots of examples on your own site of pages that rank really well for targeted keywords. So I started writing my own SEO content. I also started aggressively driving backlinks via PR placements. And I have a hack for this that we'll get into later on in this presentation. So if you're struggling with driving backlinks to the content that you've created for yourself or for clients, we've got you covered. Eventually, the SEO started to do its thing. So again, all without a sales team, I've got a lot of clients, and a lot of new clients want to come on board. The benefit of having leads come to you is that you don't have to spend your time trying to chase down business. You get to work on your business itself, and you might be able to save yourself on having to hire a sales team. And you can do it. Writing content that attracts the right kind of visitors and using the right kinds of keywords, earning media coverage and developing backlinks isn't rocket science. I'm a college dropout. I don't say that to brag, but I'm not a Harvard grad. And you don't need to be either. If you have the foundational knowledge of how to create content that, number one, ranks for the right types of keywords, and then number two, highlights your features, benefits, and unique selling propositions, demonstrates your expertise in a way that while the reader's there, converts them to contact you. The rest kind of takes care of itself. To give you an idea of what kind of backlinks you can expect, TCF and our clients have been featured on the Today Show, in the Wall Street Journal, Glamour. I've been in Fast Company 3 times this year. We regularly get our clients featured in Fast Company, Wired, Forbes. All kinds of high quality name brand media outlets have featured TCF, my staff, myself, or our clients. And again, I'm going to show you how you can get your own backlinks and media coverage without having to spend any money. Because again, like I said, I started TCF with $500. And when you've got a very limited budget and you're short on time, it's important to have a little bit of hustle. And I'll walk you through that process. So here's how to develop the right kind of content. And I really want to emphasize the right kind of content, because if you're writing, let's say, a listicle that it's not designed to convert, that's not going to convert no matter how much traffic that it drives to your website. So for example, my website ranks #1 for businesswoman quotes. And I think also for PR quotes. We have a couple different quotes-based blog posts. They drive a lot of traffic, but none of that traffic really converts into leads from potential clients. And it's not really designed to. That kind of content is more designed to generate social shares and introduce people to our website that does convert into downloads of our guides. But in terms of converting into actual clients that want to hire us on an ongoing basis, no. So as you're thinking of the type of content that you want to create to drive these targeted leads to your agency, maybe if you are location specific, you can target like best SEO agency in Albuquerque. Is the search volume on that super high? No, but is it very targeted if you're an SEO expert in Albuquerque? Yes. And will that traffic be highly likely to convert into a lead that then you have the opportunity to pitch to, sign a bigger contract? Yes. So really kind of starting at the keyword research level and identifying, what niche might you be able to own, and where are the weak spots in what's currently ranking #1 for keywords that you might want to rank #1 for. Developing that kind of keyword strategy is really important, because if you're not targeting the right keywords from the start, your content, it's not going to rank, or if it does, it's not going to draw in the type of traffic that's likely to convert for you. So this is really important for you to know as an agency owner, but especially if you're a digital marketing agency that's offering these types of copywriting and SEO services for your clients. It's important for you to think about these, keyword optimization questions from the beginning. Again, otherwise your content won't be engineered to rank well from the start. Next, you want to write long form. That means 2,000 or more words per blog post. The reason why is because the search crawlers are looking for all types of contextual keywords. And quite frankly, you can't really develop like a complete guide to anything in 500 words. And what Google and the other search engines are looking for is what content provides the most value to the reader. Usually, content that provides the most value and the most education is 2,000 or more words. And actually, there have been quite a few studies done on this, and they all say the same thing. You need to write content that's 2,000 words or more in order to have a real shot at being able to rank well for the keywords that you're targeting. Next, you want to make sure that you format your content properly. You can go after the Google featured snippet real estate in all of your H2s, and I recommend that you do, because then that gives you an opportunity not just to rank #1 for your primary keyword, but then to also rank #1 for related keywords that also are conversion optimized. So make sure that you're formatting your content properly, you're integrating images. I really like click to tweet functionality, because then as people are finding your content, they're more likely to share it. And I have found consistently that when we enable click to tweet for our clients, they get a lot more social shares. So that's a great way to bake in social sharing right into your content. Alt text on images is very important, as is your meta description, which is that little sentence that shows up underneath the title of your page that kind of entices the reader from the SERPs to click on your content instead of, the 10 other options, or excuse me, the 9 other options that they're looking at on that page. #4, bake in content marketing by quoting experts and complementary non-competing brands. This is one of my favorite tricks, because when you quote experts, influencers, and give shout outs to complementary non-competing brands in your content, and then you tag them in the social shares, ideally you're writing evergreen content. So you're not just promoting your content when you publish it, but on a weekly, or at the very least monthly basis. And so as you re-promote your content, if you make sure to tag the people that you quote and the companies that you mention, they're always good for retweets and interactions. So again, that's a great way to boost social shares, increase social engagement, and also make connections with those brands and experts and industry influencers that you want to have in your professional network anyway. #5, while we're spending all this time on our content, right, we might as well optimize it to make sure that we squeeze the last drop of ROI possible out of the content that we create. So the vast majority of people who come to our website are not going to contact us or hire us for, a $5,000 minimum monthly retainer. However, they might be interested in downloadable guides. Well, that's great, because now you're in my email list, and I can market to you on an ongoing basis. And I've got courses that you might be interested in. I have employee handbooks that we offer for sale that you might be interested in. I have affiliate partners that you might be interested in. And so once you're in my email list, then I'm able to, monetize you, or the reader, the user, if you will, the larger you. I'm able to monetize those people in a way that, again, doesn't come at a $5,000 per month price tag, right? So one of my favorite examples of this is we rank pretty well, I think, and definitely in the top 3 for keyword research template as a search term. And sure enough, if you click on the link that takes you to the Content Factory's website, there is a keyword research template available for download right on that post. So that's a very high converting page, not necessarily for clients, but for email subscribers. And a lot of those people eventually go on to buy our SEO courses or guides. So as your content ranks, you want to make sure that you're capturing and capitalizing on as much of that traffic as possible. And optimizing your content with related downloadable assets is a great way to do that. Finally, number 6 here, we have further monetize your content with affiliate links. I do this on my website. I love it. SEMrush is one of my favorite affiliate partners. We make thousands of dollars a year through just like linking up SEMrush and offering our readers and email subscribers a free 7-day trial of SEMrush. All they got to do is click the link. And if they stay on past that 7-day free trial, we get paid. And it's a great way to incorporate passive revenue generation into the content as it starts to rank. Also, I love SEMrush. I would recommend it to anybody. I pay for it and use it myself. And the 7-day free trial provides just a little extra value to my subscribers and readers. It's really a win-win-win for everyone as long as you're partnering with the right affiliates. But again, this can be a great way to monetize your content. After you write the content, it's important that you don't forget about it. You want to make sure that you're constantly promoting it on social media, maybe using the skyscraper technique to reach out to related websites that have similar content that could benefit from updating their content to incorporate either links to or information from the content that you've just created. And as you do that, you're going to build a network of both backlinks and social signals that will help drive targeted traffic to your website. That converts, hopefully, right? That's the whole goal here, is how do you attract clients to you so that you don't have to spend your time and resources chasing them down. So here's what that looks like in action. And what I'm going to do here is break down the anatomy of a blog post that has generated over $1 million in revenue for the Content Factory. This is the first $1 million blog post that I ever wrote for the Content Factory, and I wrote it early on. I wrote it back in 2010, maybe 2011. And at the time, I was trying to find out, well, how much do I charge for social media marketing services? Because I'm kind of new here. I don't really know where to start with my pricing, and I better do some internet research. Well, the research that I did really didn't turn up anything concrete. And so I ended up having to do a really deep dive. And in the process, I realized that I was acquiring information that a lot of people were searching for, but it wasn't really available online. And so I wrote a long form. Again, this post is over 3,000 words, a long form blog post outlining how much social media marketing costs. And over time, that drew so many of its own backlinks, because as people were searching for the cost of social media marketing, they were linking back to my website as a reference point and as a resource. Entrepreneur linked to this post. Inc. has linked to this post. Forbes has linked to this post. Business Insider has linked to this post. Like, everyone and their mother has linked to this post because it was one of the most comprehensive and also one of the most visible, because I made sure to use my SEO skills to structurally format it in a way that it would be engineered for success. Also, I knew that the cost of social media marketing would be a high conversion keyword for me, because if somebody is searching for the cost of something, they're in the research phase before making a purchase, and that is the absolute best time that you can introduce yourself and your brand to them. And then ideally, not just introduce yourselves to them, but then highlight your experience and your expertise in a way that's going to convert them to say, okay, well, I was looking for the answer to this question. Not only did I receive the answer to that question, I learned a lot of other stuff, and now I'm going to, just contact this person instead of searching any further. And I get a ton of leads through this blog post, and it also occupies a lot of that featured snippet space. It generates over 20,000 visits per month to my website. Here you see that the SEMrush I guess estimates the traffic at 1.4K. I looked it up right before we put these slides together, and it's well over 20,000 hits per month that this blog post gets. It would cost me almost $10,000 a month to get that same traffic with an AdWords spend. It ranks #1 again for everything from social media marketing costs to how much does social media marketing cost, social media management pricing, all of those types of keywords that somebody might be searching for while in the research phase before hiring an agency or freelancer. That's perfect. And I snagged that spot. But you can kind of tweak this for your own niche and achieve the same results. If you find, that cost of social media marketing in Albuquerque gets 50 searches a month, then it's worth writing that post, because even though the search volume is small, it's so highly targeted that if you capture that real estate, it will drive you targeted leads and sales over time. So again, niche down, but this is a great example of how you can educate your consumer about something, or your potential clients about something that they need to research before they make the purchase and before they define their budgets. I'm a huge fan across the board of making pricing transparent for the exact reason, but because then you get to write about it, right? So here's another post that it hasn't made me $1 million yet, but I'm pretty sure it's going to, based on how it's going so far. This post ranks #1 for press release distribution and a ton of other keywords associated with press release distribution services. What makes this hot and super clickable is this title here is why you probably don't need press release distribution services. And the fact is, if you're relying on PR Web or PR Newswire or PR Underground, press release distribution to #1, generate real media coverage, or #2, positively impact your SEO in any way, you're wasting your time and money. Don't do it. And I make that argument in this blog post. In this blog post, I also, again, practice what I preach about making sure to incorporate quotes from industry experts. And here I quote Dan Tynan, who writes for basically everywhere in the tech space, and Ali Walansky, who writes for basically everywhere in the lifestyle space. And I interviewed these two journalists about, well, do you go through PR Web every morning while looking for stories to pitch? And they both, laughed at me. And so I made sure to incorporate that into the post. But again, it's an informative piece of content that educates my potential client. The keyword super hot for conversion, press release distribution or press release distribution services. Again, if somebody's looking for that, chances are they've got news to share and they're looking for some way to get it out. Well, hey, I own a PR agency. Why don't you come on over to the Content Factory site? I'll educate you a little bit. I have in this blog post examples of press releases that we've written. We've got a download there for a press release template that people can check out to make sure that they're formatting their press releases the right way. So again, making sure to capture the traffic that comes in, and if they don't turn into a client, hopefully they'll turn into an email subscriber. Again, this one also generates its own backlinks. How much do professional SEO services and web content writing cost? This is another one. It's very similar to the cost of social media marketing services. This one ranks really well for website content writers. It gets over 4,000 hits per month. Again, I published this one early on, and SEO takes a long time. So it's important that, again, you never forget about your content. You go back and continually tweak it. I've updated this at least a dozen times over the years. And that's how you kind of take care of your content in a way that makes sure that once it ranks well, it consistently ranks well. Or, once it's published and starts moving its way up the rankings, you can make some tweaks to, make it rank higher, revamp that content. So I've been talking a lot about backlinks and media coverage, and the backlinks in particular are a critical aspect of SEO. Another critical aspect of SEO that I don't really touch on here because it's kind of its own other beast is technical SEO. So if you spend all of this time and effort creating keyword targeted long form content and you publish it on your website and you wait 3 months and you hear crickets, right? The silence is deafening on the lack of organic traffic that your content is generating. Well, then you probably need to focus on either your technical SEO, because maybe there's something broken on your website. Maybe you're using plugins that are slowing your site down. Maybe you've got too many scripts running. I don't know, whatever the case may be, it's worth taking a gander, take a look under the hood is what I'm saying when it comes to your technical SEO, because that might be something that's holding you back. If you're sure that you've got that covered, then the most likely culprit is you need to drive more backlinks to your website. And not just any backlinks. They need to be high quality backlinks from websites that have a very high domain authority. The best way, hands down, that you can do this for yourself, but also for your clients, is through HARO. HARO is definitely one of my digital marketing BFFs. And I think it has real potential to be one of yours as well if you're not already familiar. Here's why I love HARO so much. It's because hustle leads to headlines. I've been featured in Fast Company 3 times in the last year, all thanks to HARO. Thrive named me a limit-breaking female founder last year, again, thanks to HARO. NBC News referred to me as a CEO who takes job perks to the max. My grandma was very proud of that. And again, I have HARO to thank. This is killer social proof that you can slap all over your website as CNN, as feed. Once you've been, named by a reputable news agency as XYZ, you get to have that title, that feather in your cap forever. And it's great for converting clients. It's great for impressing family members around the Thanksgiving dinner table. And it is fantastic for generating high quality backlinks from websites with a very high domain authority in a way that's going to really, really improve your website's overall SEO, but then also, where you rank for specific pages. HARO, if you're not already familiar, please let me introduce you. Helpareporter.com. Again, if you're not already familiar, right after this presentation, go check it out. It's a service that is free, as you might see at number 3, and it will send you an email 3 times a day with literally hundreds of media queries from reporters looking for expert sources to feature in their stories. No matter what industry you're in, there will literally be dozens of queries per month that you could qualify for. Again, this will generate earned media coverage, but also those backlinks that you're looking for. And I'm talking really high quality coverage. Again, I've been in the New York Times via HARO. We replicate the process for clients. We use HARO to generate, over the years, we have literally as an agency generated thousands of media placements for our clients, and it's all free. So there is no barrier to entry here. Anybody can sign up as a source. If you would like to to sign up for HARO as a media outlet or as a journalist, you can do that as a blogger. We do it frequently over at the Content Factory. The rule there is your website has to have an Alexa ranking of 1 million or under. That's the barrier to entry there. So that's a real incentive to get your Alexa ranking, your site's Alexa ranking under 1 million, because then you can send out HARO queries that'll make it really easy for you to source those experts and influencers and complementary non-competing brands to give you quotes for your content. And then, you know, they're already playing the PR game at that point. If they're responding to your HARO queries, they're highly likely to help you promote that content when it's live. And again, that will help drive social shares. It will help drive additional backlinks. It'll raise your profile, improve your professional network, and again, improve your SEO. So Help a Reporter will basically do everything but make you breakfast in the morning. It's free, and I'm of the opinion that everyone should sign up. And if you have a website with an Alexa ranking of under 1 million, I would recommend that you signed up as a source, but then also as a journalist. Here are a few key tips on how to slay HARO, because I don't just want to tell you like, hey, HARO is a great resource, why don't you go check it out? Because I know that there are some ways that we can help you optimize your results here. So looking at how to slay HARO here, you want to respond fast, because there's a first mover advantage to being the first good response that a journalist receives, because often they've got a very short deadline and they'll go with just the first good source that they get. So if you're the first one through the door and you come with a really good response and give them everything that they need, you're more likely to get featured in that story and also get that backlink. In order to have the best shot possible of securing that placement and backlink, you want to answer the question thoroughly in your response email. A lot of times people will just respond to HARO queries and say, hey, I've got a great response to this. If you'd like to give me a call, I can explain it. Or if you email me back and you're interested, then I'll go ahead and type this up for you. Ain't nobody got time for that, especially very busy reporters who are on a very short deadline. So if the reporter is asking specific questions in their queries, answer those questions and answer them thoroughly, but don't go writing a novel, because again, nobody got time for that. At the end, you want to make sure that you offer to promote the piece once it goes live. Journalists and bloggers are often held accountable for page views. So if they know up front that you're going to help them promote their content, they're more likely to feature you in that content so that they can get that signal boost that, again, everyone's looking for. When you're featured in these stories, make sure that you share that content, and when you do, tag the journalist in the outlet. If it's an evergreen piece of content, not like a timely news story, continually share that content, maybe once a month or so. And when you do, again, tag that journalist in an outlet, because that signals to the journalist that you're willing to play ball and you will continually promote the content that they feature you in. That's an incentive for them to feature you in more content. And this is how you can start to, over time, build real relationships with reporters to where they come to you directly instead of sending out a HARO query. So again, follow up and build that relationship. Respond back to the journalist and say, hey, thanks for including me. Make sure that they gave you the backlink. If they didn't give you the backlink, hey, can you link back to my site, please? Also, I just promoted it across all of my social networks, and I will continue to do so on a regular basis. And that kind of, in a nutshell, is how you can slay HARO. To give you an idea of what that might look like, here's what it looks like. Hi, journalist name. My name is your name here, and here's why I'm relevant. And then you answer their question. Again, if you have any further questions, happy to answer them. If you let me know when the article goes live, I'll be sure to share it with my followers on social media. If you have a lot of followers on social media, tell them how many followers you have. If you've got 15 Facebook likes on your page and 22 Twitter followers, I just wouldn't advertise that. I would just say I will be sure to share it with my social networks because they're definitely going to be interested in it. And then make sure that you monitor for your website, links to your website, and references of your name, because the journalist will not always let you know when it goes live. Quite frankly, oftentimes they don't know when the pieces will go live. So make sure as you start to respond to these HARO queries that you keep your eye out for coverage, because it's entirely possible that when it goes live, you're not going to be notified unless you have something like a BuzzSumo alert set up. If you have more SEO questions or questions about HARO, I have a ton of guides on our site over at contentfact.com, and we've got a lot of online trainings as well. So we've got a lot of free guides. If you're looking for comprehensive, in-depth trainings, we've got you covered there as well. And if you'd like to connect on social, I know I would, you can catch us on Twitter at ContentFact, also Facebook at ContentFact, and LinkedIn. My name is Kari DePhillips, and again, thanks for attending this presentation.